This is ABC Franchisee Project Manager. It's like a basic project management application, but it has documents that need to be signed by the franchisees and the idea of having a dashboard for franchisees to be able to monitor their profiles. From the dashboard of a project manager, we might be interested in projects, their overdue tasks and timelines. But from the perspective of a franchisee, you only want them to be able to see. So let's pretend to be a franchisee. And they only see one contact record, which is their own, one project, because this is the only one that's associated with their profile. And then, of course, they see their timelines based upon their identity. When I click on these tables up above here, as a franchisee, I only see one. I only see one project that's associated because Kirk Allen Tracy's the franchisee person here, and everything's tied to the identity. So only those projects and tasks associated with that franchisee are visible. Now, if I end the test, let's go back over to franchisees, and I end the test, you'll see all of the franchisees are available to us as administrators. There's 100 of them. This has dynamic filtering on the side. You can look at the active. There are 92 active franchisees. There are, how many? 8 inactive franchisees. If I was looking for active franchisees in the South, I would find 19 franchisees. And of course, you can continue to filter these over on the side and then save them as reports. There are a couple of reports in here already, just these default ones for listing all the franchisees. You'll find that you can click and group these if you wish to. A bunch of functionality is built into this. So the idea of this is that when you are a new franchisee and you fill out your information that's here, your address information, what you'll find below are some documentation that you need to approve. Here we've got example code of conduct text. I need to open these, sign these, and upload them back into the system so that there's a version available. So I'll pull down the code of conduct. I'll open it up. Here we've got the document here. And you're going to pull it out, sign it, scan it, put it back in, right? So you would file and save that. When you are ready to, what you would do is you just upload the version that is signed, and I think I've got code of conduct here too. Yeah, let's pretend that that's the signed document. I click on save, the field name, right? Okay, so we'll say Marshall Dodge at example. There he is. There he is. So we'll add this person. We'll say he's the owner, and the status is, now this would not be available to the franchisee to be able to fill in because the roles and permissions mute it. But I want him to say it's active, and we'll say down east. And the franchisee code is 999, and the region is north, and they're at 1500 Main Street. And we'll put them in Cambridge, Mass, even though we know they're in Maine, right? So let's save this. Do you want to invite them? Yes, and I want them to be a franchisee. So now this allows you to be able to track all the documentation that they have approved. You can set up workflows and email notifications. The interesting component of this is that every time you add a franchisee, where do those documents come from? There's a single document table over here, and if you view this or even go into edit mode, you can see you can upload documents here, which convert them to a link, which then can be brought into the franchise record by relationship. So every time you have a franchisee record here, what happens in the background is there's a field that says related documents, I think you might have. And for convenience, I've hidden it, but let's go in here and find out what the reference field is that ties us to the documents. So I'm looking for where documents, there it is, documents have franchisees. And there's the franchisee agreement link. All of those are that. Let's see, related documents. This is it. Now, usually this is a drop-down box that says, I want to select this document. But what I've done is I've changed this to a formula and put the records number in here. That means every time I create a new franchisee, this number 1 is related and pulls down all of the documents from that documents table directly into the franchise record. So there's a reference, source documents on every single franchisee so that you can use them here in their native unsigned state. They do what they need to do to vet them, and then they browse and update their own records. So that's a quick view of Franchisee Project Manager.